Have you ever gone back and watched an old episode of Family Guy? And within the first 2 minutes, something feels different. Not the animation, not the voices, not even the jokes. Something deeper, it feels like a completely different show. And if you felt that too, you're not crazy. You're also not just being nostalgic. Because while nostalgia absolutely plays a role, that's not the whole story. Old Family Guy really did have something modern Family Guy struggles to recreate, and today, I want to talk about what that was, why so many fans still feel it, and why a lot of people miss the old version of this show even if they can't explain why, because this isn't just about cartoons. It's about what happens when a show lives long enough to outgrow its own soul. The weird feeling old episodes have. I had this happen recently. I threw on an older episode late at night, just background noise. Nothing serious. One of those early to mid-era episodes I'd seen years ago, and then something weird happened. I stopped scrolling my phone. I actually started watching. That sounds small, but it matters. Because with a lot of modern comfort content, we half watch everything now. We multitask. We consume, but Old Family Guy pulled me in. Not because every joke was hilarious. Not because every scene was genius. But because the episode felt alive. It felt like it wanted my attention. Modern episodes often feel like they're competing for it. That difference matters more than people realize. Old Family Guy lets scenes breathe. One of the biggest changes is pacing. Go watch older seasons and you'll notice something instantly. The show used to slow down, characters talked, moments lingered, awkward pauses existed. A dumb comment from Peter Griffin could become funny because of how everyone reacted to it. Now compare that to many newer episodes. The pace is faster, the cuts are tighter, the jokes come harder and quicker, and on paper, that sounds better. More jokes should mean more laughs, right? Not always. Comedy needs rhythm, setup, contrast, silence. A pause can be funnier than a punchline if it lands right. Old Family Guy understood that. Modern Family Guy sometimes feels like it's afraid of dead air, and when a show becomes scared of silence, it starts sounding loud instead of funny. The characters used to feel more human. This is the part longtime fans feel even if they never say it directly. The characters used to feel more grounded, still ridiculous, still exaggerated, still insane, but grounded. Lois Griffin wasn't just angry wife mode. She felt like the stabilizer of the family. Brian Griffin wasn't just a punchline machine for hypocrisy jokes. He felt like a flawed adult, trying to seem smarter than he was. Stewie Griffin wasn't just witty commentary. With British vocabulary, he was a genuinely bizarre little villain. Even side characters had more identity. They weren't just tools for jokes. They felt like people in Quahog. Now, after decades on air, many characters feel like their loudest trait turned into their whole personality. That happens to a lot of sitcoms. When shows run long enough, characters become simplified versions of themselves. It's easier to write, but harder to care about. The show used to feel dangerous. This is hard to explain unless you watched it back then. Old Family Guy felt like a show that wasn't supposed to exist. It felt rebellious, chaotic, like someone snuck something weird onto network TV. That energy matters. There's a huge difference between a show trying to survive and a brand that knows it will continue. Early Family Guy had hunger. It had something to prove. Cancellation drama, controversy, cult fandom, there was real momentum behind it. Modern Family Guy often feels comfortable, and comfort can kill edge. Not always, but often it was messy, which helped it. Here's the funny part. Old Family Guy was not perfect. Some jokes bombed. Some episodes dragged. Some cutaways were random nonsense. But the messiness helped, because imperfect art feels human. When something is too optimized, too polished, too efficient, It can lose texture. Old episodes sometimes felt like talented people trying weird things because they thought it was funny. Modern episodes can feel like professionals making content that functions. There's a difference. One surprises you, the other delivers, and surprise is where love usually lives. We don't just miss the show. This is where the psychology comes in. A lot of people say they miss old Family Guy, but sometimes what we miss is how old Family Guy made us feel. Maybe it reminds you of late nights in high school, watching clips on terrible internet, quoting scenes with friends, hearing a joke at the wrong age and laughing harder because you knew you weren't supposed to. That matters. Media gets tied to eras of our lives. So yes, part of this is nostalgia, but nostalgia only works when something meaningful was there to begin with. You don't become nostalgic for things that never mattered. Why newer episodes feel different? The obvious answer is time. Writers change. Audience changes, comedy changes, TV changes. The internet changes how jokes land. Shock humor ages differently. Attention spans shift. And a show running this long has to adapt or die. So Modern Family Guy isn't wrong for being different. It evolved, but evolution always costs something. Sometimes you gain efficiency and lose. Sometimes you gain polish and lose. Sometimes you gain more jokes and lose the reason they worked, the biggest thing it lost. If I had to sum it up in one word, sincerity. Old Family Guy felt like it meant itself, even when stupid, even when chaotic, even when offensive. It felt honest in its own weird way. Modern Family Guy often feels self-aware, and self-awareness can be funny, but too much of it creates distance instead of feeling immersed. You feel like the show is standing next to you saying, "See, we know this is dumb," and once irony becomes the main flavor, sincerity becomes rare. That's what people miss. Not just jokes, not just graphics, not just old voices. They miss sincerity. My honest take, I don't think Modern Family Guy is worthless. There are still funny moments, still sharp episodes, still great clips. But Old Family Guy had a feeling Modern Family Guy can only occasionally recreate. That feeling of discovering something weird, something alive, something slightly dangerous, something made before everyone knew exactly what the formula was. And once a formula becomes visible, magic gets harder to hide. So was Old Family Guy better? I think so. Not in every category, not in every episode, not even consistently, but in the ways that matter most. Yes, it had more personality, more atmosphere, more unpredictability, more soul. And if that sounds dramatic for a cartoon about a talking dog and a giant chicken fight, you probably know exactly what I mean. What do you think? Was Old Family Guy actually better? Or do we just miss who we were when we watched it? And what season do you think the show started to feel different? Drop it in the comments, because honestly, that debate might be more interesting than the show itself now.